You got a regular New World Order going on here, Van.
So with this, I guess what we'll do is we'll start with Davos because they're either they're recently doing it or they've just done it, but that kind of explains how this whole thing is kind of accelerating because it's the elites basically that feel like I don't know what it is about when people make a lot of money, they feel like they can tell other people what to do, whether it's actors, sports figures, rich dudes that just go to Davos and talk about the future of the planet and what needs to be done. But explain a little bit about what Davos is and how it's not, even though the mainstream media would like you to believe it. I'm going to stop calling them the mainstream media too. Just total side note, but I'm going to start calling them the state-run media because that's what it is these days. But
Yeah, it's true, right?
yeah, but you would think that it's all conspiracy theory, but it's absolutely not. It's you've had people like Bill Gates go there. You've had Bono from U2. I mean, just all these bigwigs that think that you get a few zeros behind in your bank account. All of a sudden, you have this grand idea about how the world should run. But explain
Well, I
Davos.
mean,
Sorry.
you see, it's human nature too, right? You see it at all levels,
Yeah,
where
yeah.
you have the mafia, then you have little neighborhood people that try to get together to do stuff, and that they feel is in their best interest. So I think sometimes it's sort of like that. But Davos, according to Business Insider, is the informal name of the annual 4-day conference held by the World Economic Forum in Davos-Klosters, Switzerland. It's a ski resort. So they go to a ski resort for 4 days, and they party it up at night, and then all these powerful people, business people, rich people get up and they talk about whatever the theme of that Davos is. They all make, a lot of them make presentations. They all go around and watch it. And so the World Economic Forum is a nonprofit organization, and its aim is to, quote, engage the foremost political, business, cultural, and other leaders of society to shape global, regional, and industry agendas. I mean, like, you want me to repeat that? Engage the foremost political, business, cultural, and other leaders of society to shape global, regional, and industrial agendas. Like, they're out there with it. That's what they're trying to do. And that's what they're there. They all these billionaires, the political leaders get together, the people who make the rules, and they all talk. Hey, what can we do to scratch each other's backs and make sure that each other is us, that we take care of one another. And so Davos typically happens in January every year. So they go up to Switzerland. They have this, the ski resort. They pretty much turn it into Fort Knox while everybody's up there. They lock it down. It's invite only. But this year, because of COVID, they've pushed it off till the summer. And as far as who attends Davos, again, as I said, it is invite only, and attendees in 2020 included like 53 heads of state. Angela Merkel was there, President Trump was there, but then you get other people like I think it was the U.S. Secretary of the Treasury, Steve Mnuchin, was there, Ivanka Trump, Jared Kushner, hey, Greta Thunberg, right? Like, in all of her fucking worldly experience out there running her little tiny suck. Cost to attend is $28,000 for business people, and you have to pay a fee to the World Economic Forum, which ranges anywhere from $62,000 to $620,000. And chalet rentals in Davos cost upwards of $140,000 for the week.
Just so the
big
big
thing, which
wigs
you're going
can
to talk about, is that the theme of the 2021 Davos is the Great Reset, which, as we mentioned at the beginning of the show, is 100% real. You can go to www.weforum.org/great-reset and check it out for yourself.
Yeah, and so Davos is basically, and it ties in perfectly too, because it's a bunch of elites deciding that what us little peons down here are going to do and what we're not going to do and how we're going to help their situation, basically. And that's what this Klaus dude, I've got a video of him, but that's basically what he decided, that he's the one that came up with this whole Great Reset idea. Let me just play this clip real quick, and before we get into this, but this is him talking about the Great Reset.
It is obvious that we are in the midst of the most severe crisis the world has experienced since World War II. The COVID-19 crisis has shown us that our old systems are not fit anymore for the 21st century. It has laid bare the fundamental lack of social cohesion, fairness, inclusion, and equality. Now is the historical moment, the time not only to fight severe virus, but to shape the system. In short, we need a great reset.
All right, hey, real quick before you get going, I just want to say I always find it fucking hysterical when a billionaire talks about equality and and equal justice and all this. Like, gargle my nuts.
Yeah.
No, you have no. Oh yeah, let's. Hey, and that again, it's like, hey, we're gonna help protect you from yourselves, and we're gonna do all this shit in the process. No, man.
Yeah, and by the way, it's gonna benefit us the most. But yeah, that, and I can't help but listen to that accent. And I mean, it's like the villain in every single movie ever made. And, you know, the real life villain also talk like that too. So, but to me, it made me think of this dude right here.
Now, Mr. Evil.
Dr. Evil. I didn't spend 6 years in evil medical school to be called Mr. Thank you very much.
I don't know, maybe it's just bald head or whatever, but I mean, they don't talk the same. But when I was watching that first, it was like, this is like, you know, this is some kind of maniacal crazy man up there. And it's like, you know, maybe get somebody else with a more appealing accent or something to talk about this stuff. But he's the one that came up with this thing. And it's crazy, the things that they want to do, the control that they want to take. I've got a couple slides here. This one right here is their whole, and I don't expect everyone to be able to read this, so I've got a zoomed in section, but if you go on the search engine or whatever and you just type in the Great Reset chart, it'll give you this chart, and you can look at all these different points that they want to basically control. The one that I wanted to talk about with this, though, is they're harnessing the fourth revolution. And this is the one that I think is the most concerning. The word harnessing, first of all, if you look up the definition, it means control, to control. So they basically want to control the fourth revolution before it even gets started. Some of these on here are internet governance. They want to control 5G. They want to control your digital identity, basically. So it's like everything about your life. Drones, which is pretty interesting to me. We talked about that last week. What exactly is it that, is that a surveillance thing that they're going to use drones for? Something like that. Blockchain, we've talked about cryptocurrencies. So they want to basically, I'm sure it's create their own blockchain that they have control of. It's that digital currency, that world currency. They want to control the fourth industrial revolution altogether. The next one here is artificial intelligence and robotics. It's like everything. I mean, they just want to control everything. The digital economy and value creation, which is pretty interesting to me too. The future of computing. And then the final one, which I think is the most interesting, is the future of media, entertainment, and culture. They want to dictate literally everything. They want it, and basically the future of media, entertainment, and culture basically means to me propaganda, is what I read from that.
Yeah, no, I think you're 100% spot on. It's they want to control everything to be able to remain in power. I mean,
Yeah.
Look at what the dipshits we got going on in our own country trying to scratch and remain in power, because the society and how we communicate. I mean, we're on our cell phones zapping, that you have signal and stuff that supposedly is encrypted enough to where they're not able to crack it. We got people talking back and forth. They don't have control right now. And that's the one thing that's driving them, I think, most bonkers. And it's what they're trying to do. And, it's like you mentioned the drones and, keeping tabs on everybody. I mean, our own government lied to us, right? You had Clapper and Brennan, all these idiots with the alphabet agency sitting up there before Congress. Oh no, we're not gathering intelligence on every American person. No, we can't do that. We may get a little bit on the side by accident, but no, everything's cool. And what's happened to them since they came out that they were full of shit? Again, Snowden and all these guys, right? What's happened to them? Nothing. They're getting jobs on CNN. So the part where it talks about them controlling the media, they're already controlling the media. If they weren't controlling the media and the media had any backbone, they tell Brennan to go pound sand. They tell Clapper to go pound sand. Comey, all the people involved in the whole Russiagate thing, tell them to go pound sand, but they're not. Let's embrace you. Let's bring you all in. Yeah. All the little Dr. Evils over there. and they're a bunch of bureaucrats, and they want to have a seat at the table. So yeah, this whole great reset, this whole thing, it's right in line with the, hey, let's basically, we'll turn you all into the peasants that we think you are.
Yeah, and it goes into, with the COVID thing, it goes into that Rahm Emanuel thing, right?
You never want a serious crisis to go to waste.
That's exactly, I mean, they're taking this opportunity. Even this Klaus dude, Klaus, whatever his name is, talked about
Klaus
that.
Barbie. War criminal.
Yeah, he talked to, I mean, that's why this is so important to them right now. It's like, we've got a great opportunity. We need to seize this while everybody's kind of in this mode of, what can we do? What can we do? We need help. We need, I can only wear so many masks.
They do? But they have trillions, and I mean, amongst these people that go to Davos, they got trillions of dollars. If they wanted to fix shit by helping people out and funneling money to the right places, they would. Yeah. But they don't. No, it's not about fixing shit. It's about, the only thing they're going to fix is make sure that they fix it so nobody else can challenge their position. Yeah. So that they remain in power. It's the World War. It's scary shit when you think about it, right? It's the World War I stuff, right? You had the Austro-Hungarian Empire. You had these ancient, people who had been in power for years and years, decades, right? And all of a sudden, this stuff was come crashing down. Well, what happened? We had a world war because of it. Look what's going on now. They're trying to scratch. They can't deal with the internet. They can't deal with the people are learning stuff. People are in the know because of the internet. You have a bunch of monkeys, actually not monkeys, like people off of Reddit, though, decide, hey, let's go bleed these hedge funds who are shorting the stock market, the whole GameStop deal, and went in there and kicked their ass. Right. So they're losing control and they're, let's have a great reset. Why do we need a reset? What? Because
they're losing control.
Because you're not digging the way it's going. We need to hit the reset button. I keep thinking of Hillary Clinton pushing the little button out there, to Putin. Oh yeah, go push the button.
Yeah. Well, and that brings up a good point. I've got this article in the notes below. It says, it talks about how if the Great Reset, if it were only just a conspiracy, and it talks about the Great Reset is basically corporatism. By another name. So it's basically these big wigs, and it's a good article too. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it talks about how these big wigs are just basically trying to maintain their grasp on everything. And if they can come together and get a hold of this situation before it happens, maybe they can capitalize on it. And they do all of this stuff in the name of equality and sustainability, right? That's why they want to use this coronavirus thing as a kind of a catalyst for it, because they're talking about how everybody, it's just not sustainable. We're going this direction and we're not going to be able to do it. We've got robots that are going to take everybody's jobs and automation. And so they appeal to people's senses like that. But what they're not saying is this means that everybody, everybody's equal means everybody's equal. So it doesn't matter what you do, what you don't do. You're going to get exactly what we say you're going to get. The rules, there's not going to be any private property, anything like that. We're not going to own cars and houses and all of that stuff. So basically, it's worse than the way it is now. We think it's bad now with the way corporate controls the government and everything else in our daily lives. With something like this, it's just going to get, 10 times worse on a global scale. It's just insane to me that this is actually being talked about, and that there are some people out there going, yeah, we need to do something. Well,
and
okay, but not
being
this.
Talked about. It's being talked about like open and transparent. Again, they have a website for the Great Reset. Like 10 years ago, but that's a conspiracy theory kind of stuff. No, that's right out there. And maybe they're learning that they can't hide it. So let's just throw it right out there and get people to buy into it, right? Like the modern monetary theory. There are literally dickheads going around trying to say how, like people in the media, what'd you call it? The government controlled state sponsored media or whatever it is. Hey, you're muted, by the way. So there's people out there that are still going around with the modern monetary theory trying to say that, it's okay. It's okay that we run deficits. Like literally people in the media saying this now. And so they're doing it right out. They're open and transparent about it. They're just trying to present it in such a way that they get all the little woke crowd or whatever crowd to buy into it. They're like, somehow this is good. They're all scratching for that, to be in the capital of the Hunger Games, right? They want to be in that capital city, and maybe they're not the most powerful person there, but they want to be there to watch everything going on. And it's pretty scary.
Yeah. Oops, wrong freaking slide. Jumping ahead of myself a little bit there. Trying to get stuff set up. But yeah, it's again, just like that HR 127 and all that, this great reset stuff. I think it's important to watch where it goes, because maybe all of this stuff doesn't happen all at once, but I guarantee you they're going to try to figure out all of this stuff that they can. There are some things that the wheels are just going to be in motion, the digital currency, stuff like that. This explains a lot why they're just not concerned about our national debt, because they don't have to be, because things are going to change pretty soon. So let's just give a whole bunch of money to everybody except for Americans, because we don't like Americans, but let's give it to everybody else in the world.
Well, and watch what they're doing right now, right? So if you want to know what you should probably be thinking about doing, other than heading for the hills and climbing into a bunker somewhere and hiding forever, is watch what the people who are in charge, the powerful and the elite, are doing, right? What are they doing? They're putting in they're putting in the relief packages that benefit the powerful and elite, right? So they're getting money, they're consolidating. Everything they're doing right now is about they're hunkering down. Yeah. They're consolidating power. They see what's coming. They see the change that's coming. And what are we all doing for the most part down here? We're all scrabbling around looking for the scraps, going, oh, what are you up to? And meanwhile, it's happening fast. I think it's happening pretty quick. And if you're not, keeping a good eye on what's going on, and I think most preppers are now, it's a lot of the other people that are, I think they're going to be in for a world of hurt, especially when you get back to modern monetary theory. Like when they run this huge deficit, where do they go to get the money from that? They go back down to the people who can least afford it, And so,
it only works until it doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
Until we have to pay for it.
Let's add to your business, increase your business license taxes. Let's increase taxes. Let's increase the cost of gas. Let's put a gas tax on this. Let's tax that. And that's all that the modern monetary theory is. When it talks about, again, we said it before, pulling money out of society, pulling money out of circulation, they do that through taxing us.
Yeah, exactly.